If you need that because of my voice or anyone else's, feel free to enable that on your end. And we will get started. So welcome to Ethical Uses for Productivity, Demonstrations and Conversations in 50 minutes. Really hoping that we find a space today to apply our interest and skills using Gen AI tools to complete some professional or educational tasks. My name is Greg Bem. I'm one of the faculty librarians here at the college. I started last fall quarter, came over from Western Washington, where I was at Lake Washington Institute of Technology for 8.5 years. Good morning, Sergio. Welcome. And so just to preface this before we get started, hoping that you all have some experience with a Gen AI tool. If you only know a little bit about it, but have never really done more than dipping your feet in, that's fine. That's why we have today's session to practice. But I would recommend at this time loading up ChatGPT, Copilot, Claude, maybe Perplexity, if you want one of these, one or more of these to complete the work today. Or you may have another tool that's not listed here that you've used before for generating text and, there are other Gen AI tools out there that you may have access to. Choose one that you're either interested in or familiar with or haven't used before but want to try, and we'll go from there. And as you're doing that, I'm going to move forward into the presentation on the screen here. So this session will be recorded. It is actually being recorded right now. So everything you say out loud or in the chat will be captured. So just keep that in mind. The recordings will not stay in the cloud forever, but they will stay up there for a while, and they will be made available to the colleges for future access. Okay, so today we've got some outcomes. We're going to consider the acceptable or ethical and unacceptable practices in Gen AI usage. We're going to apply basic knowledge of Gen AI tools to perform professional tasks. And specifically, there are 4 activities that have a variety of tasks associated with them that we'll go into. And we'll explore iterative Gen AI prompting for editing and revising output. Has anyone heard of iterative prompting before? Is anyone familiar with what that means? Feel free to unmute or enter into the chat as well for folks that are online. And I'm a 6-second person, so I will wait the whole 6 seconds before I give the answer. I see got some stuff in the chat here. Coming soon. Haven't heard of that one. Okay. So basically, iterative, can't define it yet. Iterative means more than once. And when we use these tools like ChatGPT, we can think of them as conversations. So unlike using a search engine where you enter in your search or your prompt into Google or whichever search engine you like to use, and then you get one answer back, and then if you want to do another search, you basically are doing a whole new search. The Gen AI tools, not all of them, but most of them allow you to do multiple prompts that are all connected together in a single conversation. And that allows for editing and revising. And if you find something that isn't maybe right or what you're looking for when you ask the tool the first time, when you prompt the tool the first time, you can keep prompting it in a single space, single thread, and it will base what its answer on based on former answers, so like a conversation. So that's kind of the gist of iteration and iterative prompting. So a few additional points about this session. We're centering project-based learning, some qualities of project-based learning and active participation. So I really hope that folks that are on the call today and folks that are in the room today are connected and want to be active, that's really how this will be, this will work, because most of this is going to be based on your individual or group efforts. We're going to work on common tasks encountered in the real world. This is stuff that I've actually seen in my life as a professional and as a student, and I've completed without Gen AI tools, and it's also stuff that I've explored completing with Gen AI tools. So this isn't coming from my poetic imagination. This is coming from real lived experience. Work can be done by groups or individuals. Folks online, if you want to do something in a group, let me know and I can attempt to open the breakout rooms. Otherwise, totally fine to do this individually, and we'll be chatting about the results of our work as well. Consider this an exploration of the tools. Again, if you haven't gotten a lot of experience, or maybe you have gotten a lot of experience, this is your opportunity to explore. There's no right or wrong answer, and as we'll see in the activities, if you haven't previewed them already, most of the tasks are going to be open-ended questions, and simply kind of reinforcing this curious approach to new technology. Again, you can choose which tool or tools you want to use. You're more than welcome to use more than one if you find that your brain works really quickly with this technology and have the capacity for that, but you can also just choose whichever tool is accessible to you. These tasks are rooted in both professional and educational contexts, so keep that in mind. These are things that should apply to both employees and students here. And if you're watching the recording, if you're seeing this in the future, you can work on these tasks too. This recording is going to be very short because as soon as I'm done with the next couple of slides, we're going to move into the open session, and I'm not going to have that part recorded. So keep this in mind. This is all structured for you to be able to complete the set of activities on your own after you're done watching the recording. And similarly, if you don't finish during the session, you're more than welcome to take these tasks and work on them in the future. Drop me an email down the road. I'm happy to talk about what you discovered later. So before we dive into, there was a Freudian slip, jump and dive at the same time. Before we go into the work, I want to ask each of you, what do you think makes a task ethical, or what is ethical use of any kind of tool or technology? For those of you that attended my session on ethics and Gen AI, you may have some information or background, or maybe you forgot, that's fine too. And for those of you that did not, when you think of ethical behavior and doing ethical work, what comes to mind?
So concerns are less about its use as how it was developed.
Okay, that's
And it's kind of out of scope of this probably, but
maybe it's out of the scope. Also, I think as we're doing the work and as we're exploring, keeping those concerns in mind is really awesome, really important. Something that you might take note of, because these tasks that we have today are intentionally trying to not go into any of that, but that still exists. Those realities of this technology as a whole still exist. And so we're still walking a line just by going in and loading up the platform to begin with. So your own personal concerns, I would say, keep those centered or keep those at the ready and see, maybe you'll encounter some conversations between those and these tasks that we have here. Online, Katie says, using AI as a tool and not a replacement. I love that. Do you want to talk a little bit more about replacement for what? No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. So I guess a replacement for critical thinking. So just putting something into, for example, a ChatGPT And then whatever it spits out, you just go ahead and use without using your critical thinking skills to figure it out. Now, does that fall under ethics? I'm not sure. Maybe that just falls under using it in a way that's helpful and not hurtful, but for your own learning. But
That's great. Yeah. I think that definitely ties into ethics. I think that our values, and you use the word help and hurt, words help and hurt, which are really great for this point. Using the tools without considering where they might be helping or hurting others or the self or society at large, those types of questions and that type of critical thinking is something that I'm trying to reinforce with all of my trainings, which is why there are so many open-ended questions that ask us to be curious about how these are working and what exactly they're doing. But yeah, not removing those and taking everything for granted and being on autopilot as we are using the tools is really important. Thank you for that contribution. The realm of ethics is well beyond the scope of this presentation, so watch the recording for some of the stuff that we talk about in the ethics presentation if you're interested in diving in deeper there. But while we're doing this work today, I do want you to think about this question and think about where things connected to Gen AI may or may not be condoned or approved here at the college. As you're going through this, ask yourself, would it be okay for me to do this in my context on a daily basis or whatever? Or is there some problem with using it this way? Again, I've developed these thinking that they are ethical, but I want folks to challenge that idea as well, because it is fluid and we all come from different perspectives. Ethics is typically thought of as both a societal thing, and also it stems from our individual beliefs, values, perspectives, inclinations, experiences, etc. So we never want to discount our individual perspectives when we're talking about what is right or what is ethical. Okay, with that introduction being said, there are 4 tasks today, or 4 activities that have a variety of tasks. You will probably only have time to do one of the 4 based on the speed of yesterday's participants, but you are more than welcome to do more than one of the 4 if you go faster. This time is for you. There are 4, and I'm going to briefly summarize them, and you can all choose them, or I can randomly assign them to you. The first one, activity 1, is resume refinement, and we will practice revising a resume using Gen AI to meet various requirements. The outcome of that activity is to examine one or more Gen AI tools and their ability to recontextualize documents. The second activity is project schedule. So some of you may have worked on a project or 2 in your life. This might resonate with you. Creating a schedule for a project is typically very helpful. And in this activity, we will practice creating a robust schedule using Gen AI to meet various requirements, and the outcomes to examine one or more Gen AI tools and their ability to create new documents and tools. The third one, which I love because it's fairly straightforward, is email formatting. And I think most people have sent an email at this point, most adults in their lives. They've sent an email for any number of reasons. Still continues to be a common method of communication. And so we're going to see how Gen AI handles that. We're going to practice asking a Gen AI tool to create a professional email and then revise it in a variety of ways. Sergio, we're going to start with one activity. If you get through one, you can do more than one. And you can do all of the others in your own time after today. The outcome of the email formatting, examine one or more Gen AI tools and their ability to create documents and edit tone. And then the fourth option is donation templates. So we'll practice asking a Gen AI tool to create and refine a donation template for an organization. And the outcome is to examine one or more Gen AI tools and their ability to create new documents and tools as well. So all the outcomes are basically the same, but the activities are very different. And yeah, we'll go around the room and we'll see what folks are interested in spending the next 30 minutes on. So let's start here in person. Which one stands out to you? Okay, project schedule. Okay, thanks, Crystal. You are on top of things. Email formatting, fantastic. And Katie typing in here. Resume refinement, fantastic. And Sergio, which one did you want to work on? Resume refinement. Fantastic. So again, one final reminder, you have the option of which tool or tools you want to use. And I probably goes without saying, but I will say it. Start with step one. Use this as a worksheet, so you're filling it in as you go if you can. And every 5 to 10 minutes, I'm going to check in with everyone. So I will be verbalizing my check-in, and I'll go around and ask folks how they're doing. And we will get to the last 5 minutes or so of the session and have a small group conversation. If folks finish well before then, we will have that conversation early. So with that, I'm going to stop the recording.